Well, a small town in Llano County remembering a volunteer firefighter who's proven himself a hero in more ways than one. Yesterday afternoon, Ronald Sanderson died while trying to save his family from their burning home in Towle on Lake Buchanan. That's northeast of Llano. Tonight, KXAN's Omar Lewis joining us in the studio with the tight-knit community talking to him and rallying around a family that lost so much.
Dave, it has been a tough day for the community of Towle as they mourn the loss of a good friend and a rescuer, Ronald Sanderson. He was outside his home when that fire started, but quickly ran back inside to save his wife and 3 kids.
The longer we were there, the more confirmation we had that he had went in and not had come out.
It was a house fire call Towle volunteer firefighters thought was like any other until they arrived at a familiar address, the home of one of their own, 41-year-old Ronald Sanderson's.
I talked to his wife. She said all she remembers was him yelling for water. They went out the back, he went out the front, and, you know, he thought his kids were still in there.
The fire started around 2 o'clock Friday. The cause is still undetermined, but officials say when Sanderson's home caught on fire, he sprang into action, running back into the burning home to rescue his wife and 3 children to safety. But Sanderson never made it back out. Crews even found his firefighting gear inside untouched.
If there had been any pre-thought to it, you know, a firefighter would have grabbed that kind of thing to at least protect himself, and the only thought that he had in his mind was his family and his siblings, you know, his kids.
This tight-knit community where everyone knows each other, now wrapping their arms around one family and thinking about one hero, a man who lost his life doing what he did best, saving others. And tonight, the Towle Volunteer Fire Department is collecting donations for the family. You can find information about that on our website on KXAN.com. In the studio, Omar Lewis, KXAN News.
Firefighters in Towle say yesterday's fire highlights a growing need for volunteers. Assistant Chief Taylor says his department needed help from other departments to get that blaze under control. 77% of fire departments in Texas are run entirely by volunteers. That's 7% higher than the national average. Despite our dependence on volunteers, few are heeding the call. Nationally, the number of volunteer firefighters has dropped by more than 8% since 1984. In Texas, membership among volunteer firefighters dropping to levels seen before the surge after September 11th. Taylor says being a firefighter is tough. There just aren't enough folks in the community willing to serve.
There's really not a schedule for volunteer firemen. You know, like it's 365, 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. And we only have 12 members right now.
It's been a tough time for members of the fire community. Just last week, 19 hotshot firefighters lost their lives as a wildfire in Arizona overtook them. Back in April, the explosion in the town of West Texas claiming the lives of 15 people, most of them volunteer firefighters.